Hey everyone, I appreciate you tuning into this video. I just want to let you know I'm currently filming the next installment and I've upped my equipment to improve the sound and video quality over this one that you're about to watch. I know it's a little bit rough with the sound, but it will only get better, and please enjoy. Hello everybody, and welcome to my first van build update. In this video I want to cover a little bit about myself, kind of give you my background and why I chose van life, and I also want to show you what I've done, and finally I want to tell you what I plan on doing with the van moving forward. So we'll start with a little bit about myself. Mainly, I don't really have any experience doing this. I don't have experience with the electrical system, I don't have experience with insulating a van, I don't have experience heating a van, I don't have experience building the interior of a van. All I really have experience with is trying new things and building the occasional stuff. I don't do this for a living, I don't have any experts really helping me except for a few tasks that I've outsourced and used kits instead of doing it myself, because I knew that that's definitely the limitations of my capabilities. But I love challenges. I love trying new things. I love seeing what I can do, pushing my limits, and just seeing what I can accomplish. Any expert was not always an expert. At some point they learned. Either somebody taught them or they taught themselves. They watched some YouTube videos, figured out how to do it, figured the best way, created their own tips and tricks, etc., etc. So why not me? I thought, I can, if these people can do it, no offense, I can do it. I'm fairly handy. I'm good at following instructions. I'm good at just diving in and doing stuff. For example, this window. This is my first window I've ever installed in the vehicle. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do it. I watched the videos from the website where I ordered them from, Van Windows Direct. And then I just started cutting. I got all my questions answered online and felt confident enough to do it. I definitely made some mistakes. The window leaked at first and I had to seal that, but that little bit of extra work and learning helped me do the next 4 windows. So you just have to try and make it work. The van I went with is a 2019 Sprinter 170-inch wheelbase extended, so it has, I think it's 16 to 18 inches more length to the cargo area than the standard 170-inch. So it's the biggest van that Mercedes-Benz makes, and it's a 4-wheel drive. So I just push a button, it goes into 4-wheel drive, and that 4-wheel drive kit comes with a 4-inch lift as well, so you have more clearance, and if you get stuck you can put it in 4-wheel drive and pull yourself out. I've seen a lot of van lifers get stuck and when they're trying to find that perfect camping spot, so I'm super excited to have a 4-wheel drive. It was definitely something that was on my priority list. So let's move into the van. So far the van has a ceiling mostly done. It has insulation everywhere it can go without having to build walls in. The electrical system is done as far as the main unit. The batteries are put in there. I'll cover that later, but batteries are in, the inverter's in, the solar panels are on, the charging is there. Right now the van is lit by LED lights that I installed in the ceiling myself. Right now I have 4 windows, 3 of them that are small and they open. The floor is insulated. I have rattle trap on all the walls that needed it. I have a fan in the ceiling to ventilate the van, and I have a curtain. I have a seat swivel. I have a heater underneath the passenger seat. Excuse my jacket here. So the van is marginally livable right now because I have heat, ventilation, stuff like that. But now it's time to make it truly livable by adding storage and cabinets and stuff like that. So first I'm going to start with the insulation and sound deadening. Okay, so the insulation I went with is wool. It's Havelock Wool from sheep. It's non-toxic, all natural. It's very soft. It's not like your traditional kind of itchy wood. It's nice and soft, lots of air pockets in there to maintain the temperature in the van. Right now the sun is beating on the van, and actually the heater has to turn on because it's so cool in here. The wool has been really easy to work with. You can either cut it to fit the shape, or you can just tear it and stuff it in places. The ceiling is fully insulated as well. I just finished that. I sanded it down and painted it. The ceiling is just these little 2-inch boards put in there. It's not a perfect ceiling, but it's going to work, and I kind of like the kind of rustic look. It definitely looks like it's been used already. So moving on to the rattle trap. The rattle trap is just this kind of thick, kind of rubbery mat that sticks on there, and it stops everything from rattling so much and kind of quiets down the van, because just bare metal is not very quiet when you're on the road. So I put that everywhere that it wasn't before. You don't have to cover the whole thing. You just need to have a good amount of coverage in each area. So ventilation, I added 3 of these small windows. These windows are great because they just have a little lock here. First slide opens the glass. Second slide opens up the screen. So, you know, if I need to pass something out, whatever. But having a bug screen is nice, and ventilation. I have one here opposite the slider door, and then there's 2. There's one there and one right there. When I have my fan running, I open those up, create a nice little wind tunnel throughout the van. Here's my big window. I have it covered by this window cover, and that can clip up and it'll just stay there. It's magnetically held. Really nice product to have. I have one for each of my small windows as well. These just magnetically seal over the top. Once I get the walls in there, I'll have to put some kind of ferrous metal in there so they'll stick to that. But that's something that I'll get to later on. So as you may have noticed, my passenger seat faces backwards. It's actually on a swivel, so I just have to lift a lever and spin it around, and it becomes a part of my living room, which is really awesome. Something that I had in mind to use as an upgrade from basically the beginning. It was one of the first things I ordered. Also underneath the passenger seat, you can only see the vent. And my tissues, but right here is a vent. That goes to my gas bar D2 heater, which I am super excited about because you can set the temperature for the van and it maintains that temperature until you turn it off, or you can actually set a timer on it and it'll turn off after a certain amount of time. I have it set to 60 degrees just to keep the van a reasonable temperature. It doesn't run very much. The van is already really insulated with just the basic insulation that I put on there, and so that'll improve with time. Underneath this bench is my electrical system. I have 300 amp hours of lithium battery power. I have a Victron 300 volt amp inverter. Right here is my DC fuse panel. I just upgraded that from a 12 circuit, or from a 6 circuit to a 12 circuit. This is my solar controller right here. And then my batteries are hooked up together, and then they create one big circuit. This is my AC breaker box. This is my AC breaker for charging the van, right above the inverter here. And then I have various breakers and on-off switches to control the flow of electricity for troubleshooting and whatnot. Underneath my driver's seat, so this guy's a switch that detects if there's power coming from the alternator, and it turns, or it closes the circuit and allows power to flow from my alternator to my lithium batteries. So when I'm driving, I'm charging my batteries, which is really awesome. Very key for keeping the batteries charged, and since I'll probably be spending a lot of time driving, that's going to be a huge bonus to have. If you have any more specific questions about my electrical system, we can cover that later. So one thing that I did pretty early on in the van build as well was I put this shelf here. So this shelf allows me to store a kind of bigger item. It removes the wasted space from the cab, because before this is just all headroom, which you don't need when you're sitting, and actually you don't really need when you're getting in and out of the front seats either. I also put these curtains here. They're blackout curtains, so they isolate the front of the van from the back of the van, so when I'm stopped I get some privacy without having to put my window shades up, which I have up right now. and it also keeps it warm in the front of the van if I'm driving, or cool in the front of the van, so I don't have to heat or cool the whole van when I'm driving. Super key. Over here is where I'm going to have my kind of control panel. That's for the inverter. It controls the charge. And then also right here is my timer for my heater. It's just called a timer, but it also is like a thermostat and it controls everything. There's also an air temperature sensor over there too. So now we're going to go up to the top of the van and check out the solar panels. I apologize, there's some roofing going on. So up the ladder. Alright, so yeah, I got roofing going on, but so right there's my 200-watt solar panels. And then right here, that's the combiner box. So the combiner box is where the wires from the solar panels go into, and then it's a single set of wires that go down into the solar controller to charge my batteries. Also on the roof is my Maxxair Fan right there. That guy allows for ventilation in any weather conditions because the hood just kind of rotates up facing the back of the van, so I can even use it while I'm driving if I really need to. Also on the exterior is my Aluminess side ladder. That thing has been really nice. I actually have small dents on the side of the van on the top from leaning a ladder against it. So I've been using that a lot since I put it in. I've had it in for the whole solar install, which was very key. And lastly, one of the first things I put on is my roof rails. The only thing I'm using them for is for my ladder that connects to them, but I think in the future I'll use them to hold down a rack or a deck, whatever I end up putting up here. A little bit of information about the solar panels. They're on these cool little feet that you can remove it and rotate it up. That allows you to get better sun. And then also they're actually just stuck down using some 3M very high bonding tape, and then they're covered in Sikaflex to weather seal that. And then that will make them last for a very long time. So I've covered two ways that my electrical system is charged. The third way is through shore power. Let's go check out that shore power. So I just have a shore power plug. That can work up to 300 amps. Right now it's just 15 amps because it's plugged into a standard house outlet. Thanks for watching my van update video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please give me the thumbs up. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I expect to have another video out within the next few weeks to give you an update on where I've gone with the build and what the progress is. If you want to follow my day-to-day progress, though, you definitely need to follow me on Instagram at ADVZach, all one word. That's where I'll post most of my updates, and that's where I'll keep you updated on when I'm going to come out with my next video. If you want to get notifications, definitely hit the notification bell. Right now I'm really trying to build my channel. I know I have lots of content to put out. Motorcycle rides, van adventures, dog stuff. Everybody loves dogs. If you follow me on Instagram, you know who Winter is. Be some more excellent content out there. I have all kinds of adventures planned this summer. Lots of friends to go see, places to go explore. It's going to be a wild ride. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm super positive and stoked to see what the next year holds for me once I get Gertie's build finished. See you next time.